today. Our speaker is Paul Booth from Booth & Co, Chartered Certified Accountant. I can't read that bit. He's given me 4 answers to 4 of the questions, and he's let me choose which questions the answer is to. So something that winds him up is beer, how he relaxes is beer, and something that makes him laugh is beer. Something we should all avoid is beer. I give you 4.
Right, I'm going to try something a bit different today. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, so bear with me there. So, probably the number one topic over the last 12 months has been AI. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and deliver the 10 minutes partly through AI and partly through talking. So I don't know what the colours are going to be like, but I'm going to try and get some answers from ChatGPT, see how accurate it is, and I'm going to follow on with my own bit afterwards to a number of questions. So let's just try this first of all. Who are Booth & Co Chartered Certified Accountants?
No worries. What area are you in, or do you have any specific preferences for the type of account?
No. Who are Booth & Co Chartered Certified Accountants?
Booth & Co Chartered Certified Accountants is a professional accounting firm based in the UK. They offer services like tax advice, bookkeeping, auditing, and business consultancy. As Chartered Certified Accountants, they qualify through a professional body, ensuring they meet high standards of expertise. They typically work with small business individuals to help manage financial matters effectively.
What are their opening hours?
And wouldn't mind their opening hours. Official website will keep them to confirm their current numbers. Many accountancy firms operate standard.
Okay, so I work unusual hours. I often see clients at 6 a.m. in the morning before I go to the gym, and that suits clients as well because that doesn't interrupt their working day. Sometimes I see clients on Saturday morning for a couple of hours, and it suits them as well, so it doesn't interrupt their working week. Okay. Have any complaints been made against Booth & Co?
Many complaints in general. So typically, also complaints against accountancy firms like we want to publish them. If you have concerns, you can share with the UK professional accounting bodies like the ACCA or review sites like feedback. If you want to dig deeper, we will also consider reviewing that or official disciplinary reports.
What about Google reviews for Booth & Co?
I wasn't able to put up the Google review directly just now, but you could easily check on yourself by searching Booth & Co Chartered Certified. Google that just in a Google search. That'll show you their star rating and what clients have said. If you want me to guide you through finding them or interpreting reviews, I'm in.
You did say there were 7 Google reviews earlier, all which were 5-star.
I'm sorry if there was any confusion. If you have some info or want to confirm it, feel free to share. Otherwise, I'm happy to help you explore further.
What is making tax digital for income tax?
Making tax digital for income tax is a UK government initiative that aims to modernise the tax system. Instead of filing one big tax return each year, businesses and self-employed individuals will keep digital records and send updates to the tax authority quarterly. It's meant to reduce paperwork, increase accuracy, and give you a clearer, more up-to-date view of your tax position throughout the year.
Okay, this is where the hybrid bit comes in. So yeah, just to follow up on making tax digital, it's the big thing this year, and it's probably the biggest thing for a long time. It starts from this month. Quarterly returns for sole traders and landlords. It's been brought in over a number of years. First year is 50,000 turnover or rental income, gross rental income. And that applies if it was above that limit for the 24-25 tax year. Okay, so for those above that limit, quarterly returns, the first one goes up to 5th of July. And
Spot on. Like you said, why don't you know? It's a big shit,
the next threshold is £30,000, and that kicks in from April 27.
Sorry, Paul. Who got a white feather?
Yeah.
Boot folk.
Boots broken.
Boot.
Yeah.
And there's a body inside it.
Yeah, April 27 is 30,000 threshold, and then it's April.
There's not really a body in it.
The police are on their way.
Oh, it's brilliant. April 28th threshold is £20,000 turnover and rental income.
Oh, yeah.
You finished it? Yeah, why don't you do my job? Just get up there. The other big thing has been the ID checks for directors and PSCs. Yeah.
Then we go and pop that in total food.
That came into place on 18th of November last year. All directors and PSCs have had to be verified for anti-money laundering purposes. We're what's called an ACSP, which means we're registered with Companies House. So we perform the checks on behalf of Companies House. Lots of accountants aren't doing that, and we're getting literally hundreds of calls from non-clients whose accountants won't do that, and they're desperate because they don't get those ID checks done. Then it means they could get struck off actually. So yeah, yeah, okay. Probably about time for some questions, please. I'll answer them. Not. Yeah.
Would you work with AI again?
Actually, it's better than I thought it was. It's not. It can do now. I'm going to do my 60 seconds.
And you can speak up.
Hope not.
Anyone else?
Now, if I had been offered the role of becoming an accountant when I was little, I'd have run 1,000 miles away from it. What drew you into this profession?
Yeah, I went to a very, very bad school, a public school called Headley Water in Brentwood, who certainly were not academic. It was the time of the skinheads, and there was probably about 8 skinheads in our year. And rather than education, we were more concerned with dodging chisels that would be flying across the room in woodwork. So first year out, I didn't do that well in exams. And then I stayed on to sixth form. We used to get a few actually low-level passes, and then didn't know what to do. I wrote to loads of banks in the city, didn't get anywhere. And so my dad, he saw in the Brentwood Gazette, oh, there's an accountancy course in Chelmsford. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. And then 40 years later, still doing accounts. That's all I've done, really. So yeah.
Which AI are you using for?
That's ChatGPT. That is, yeah.
That's pretty nice.
The wife minister stops talking.
Because that's recorded.
Yeah, cut that bit out. Any other questions, please?
If you've got to get directors certified to say they're the right people, not,
Yeah.
are they going to do that for everybody who pays tax? Because
There's no plans for that yet, but I suspect they will have to. I mean,
renting side.
yeah, I mean, you have to, for those people who register for HMRC, you have to set up a government gateway, so you have to enter things like passport or driver's license information. So there are always those checks in there anyway, but for limited companies and directors, you never had to provide any ID information at all. You could just form a limited company with whatever information you wanted. It wouldn't be checked. You know, I've seen accounts that have been submitted that have shown £1 trillion turnover, 10 trillion, which is just rubbish. Just someone who's having a joke at company's house, but it never got taken down. So company's house are a bit late, but they're suddenly putting in regulation, which is absolutely correct.
Can I have a follow-up question? From April this year, are companies liable for the tax of other companies they pay if they're not paying the tax or something like that?
What you mean, sort of like reverse charge rules, or
Structural industry.
yeah, it's been before that actually under if some certain companies that are VAT registered, where they engage subcontractors, then under the reverse charge rules, rather than the subcontractor pay over VAT, would be left to the contractor. So, and there's also the CIS scheme as well. So yeah, there is already that in place for some sectors.
Follow up to the CIS scheme, obviously now for April 2026, it's new or should have known for due diligence, and you're liable for, you as the main contractor are liable for anything for a subcontractor. Is HMRC bringing out anything as a checklist for due diligence for companies?
No, not seen. No,
Is there any guidance anywhere?
I'm sure
Or
there
are
is.
you just expected to know?
Ask my friend here. Yeah, I'm sure that I can have a look at it. Yeah.
Paul,
Thank you very much.
well done.
Thank you.
Your bravery knows no bounds.